Good evening everyone, welcome back to another video. Slightly different location this time, not down the bottom of my garden, actually at the Jumeirah Al Naseem here in Dubai. Now what better place is there to announce that I have passed my first prop firm challenge after 17 attempts. 2.5 years of frustration, challenges, setbacks, you name it, all finally overcame on Monday the 26th of May 2025. So first of all, I'm going to run through the 2 trades that it took me since my last video to get me over the line, before finally going through my account metrics and analysis, before closing out as to what's next and how I'm going to approach phase 2. So let's start with the first trade that I took then since the last video, and that was a long on GU. And trading has been quite quiet recently, not many trades have actually been appearing. However, this one popped up where it was a long position. As you can see, we are above the moving average and below the upper Bollinger Band. I got my bullish price signal, which I entered on. Price came up to sort of equal highs before coming back down, quite deep into drawdown, came back up again and sort of bounced off of a trend line which had formed based on the last 2 points. At this point I was expecting the trade to lose, got a bit further into drawdown. However, price did end up breaking the trend line and making quite a nice move up to here. And I had a level marked out there and I was tempted to get out around about here, but I ended up leaving the trade and moving my stop loss to negative 0.3, just below this low here, and let the trade run on. And as you can see, hit take profit up here. And what I was thinking about doing, because I was only 0.8% away from passing phase 1, I was going to let the trade run up to here. This is the area where my challenge would have passed. However, I ended up, price actually shot through my take profit. I moved my take profit up to here. It came through my original take profit, started coming down, and I just thought, no, I can't see this reverse on me. So I ended up taking profit here, which left me about 1.1% short of the phase 1 pass. So this trade here on EU was the final trade of the challenge to pass the account. And this trade, I think an hour after I closed my GU position, this EU position popped up. As you can see, long, got my bullish price action in the right area. This was actually at 2 o'clock on a Friday, which I'm not too keen on entering due to obviously news events happening over the weekend and potential gap ups or downs. Anyway, chose to enter, wanted to follow the strategy as per my back testing. Entered the trade. The price did actually move up in my favour straight away. Had my take profit set to here, which was the challenge pass. So anyway, weekend happened, woke up on the Monday and my position closed, like initially went on to MT5 and my position was closed out, and I was thinking, oh, what's happened here? Checked my profit and I was, I think, $9 away from the 10% profit target, which is obviously a bit frustrating because I then had to go through that awkward phase of trying to make $9 without losing any. So anyway, woke up at that point and placed a trade for like 1 lot and just waited for it to go above the 10% profit target, exited, and that was it. That was my first phase 1 challenge being passed. So as you can see, I actually had it pretty easy from my last video in terms of what trades I needed to take to get over the line. Some people, it can probably be a bit frustrating if you're close to that profit target, but you end up taking a loss, and then that's where people can often spiral out of control. But I was quite lucky in the respect that the next trade that I took was a 2.5 risk to reward winner, leaving only one more trade that wasn't needing a 2.5R. It was only a 1.5R to actually get me over the line, in which it did. So, quite happy with the way that it planned out. And that feeling that day when I knew that I'd finally got over this hurdle that I'd been battling for 2.5 years, it was a great feeling, and I've worked extremely hard to get to it, so it was quite a satisfying moment in my trading career. So I'm now just going to run over some of the account metrics on FTMO and just go over some key statistics just to show you all the results and see how it played out. So here you can see the account analysis, starting with this balance curve. So as you can see, so I actually started the challenge quite a way back, but the first 3 challenges were just to ensure that the account wasn't deactivated, because I was trading another challenge at that time. So I actually started it, I think it was around about March time, and I went straight into drawdown straight away. Ended up going to 6% down, and that was about April the 14th. So it took me from the April the 14th up until May the 26th, which is really quick, to be honest, considering I was trading normally, wasn't over risking or anything. So technically I made 16% in a month and a half, which is pretty good really, and just shows the strength of the strategy. So we come down here then, the win rate was 42%, average profit was 1.5k, average loss 750, so an average risk to reward of 2.08, which is pretty good really. I know it's not 2.5 as planned, but there were a couple of decisions in there which worked in my favour, some that didn't. Overall, I'm happy with them results. And as you can see, max profit was 2.5 and max loss was 1,000. So that one right there, that's the key one. You know, no trades that I lost. I extended my stop loss, I over risked. It was all managed, and that's half the reason why the account got over the line compared to some of the others that I've traded in the past. So if we look here then, longs, so the 22 longs taken, results are obviously better than the 20 trades that I took short. Win rate on longs 45%, average risk to reward was 2.33, and you can see there that the risk to reward was slightly lower on short trades that I placed. So this is long balance, short balance. Yeah, that's the equity curve with the longs and with the shorts. Monday closing trades on a Monday were typically pretty high. Probably I think the highest I've got on those opening trades on a Tuesday was the best time for me to trade. So it'd be good to go back over my data and just see how Tuesdays compared to any other days, and if that's something that regularly occurs, then that could be something to factor in going forward, that Tuesdays are a day that I 100% trade, and it might be something to say that I never take trades on a Monday because of those results. But again, something to analyse and go back on. Here we can see all the pairs, so the results. So let's just, rather than go through them all, pick the best pairs that I traded. Looks like New Zealand dollar CAD, New Zealand dollar JAPI were my best, and my worst was the US dollar against the CAD, which is strange because if the New Zealand dollar CAD ones was my strongest and the US dollar CAD was my weakest, they must have been not trading at the same sort of time, or the CAD may have been stronger at one point, and obviously the dollar or the New Zealand dollar must have been stronger. But overall, really happy with the results. The email that I've received from the FTMO, they said that they was really happy with my trading. No signs of over risking or anything. I think that's probably the main chunk of news, results that I'm going to go through. So yeah, overall, extremely happy with the data and the results from this challenge. So that's phase 1 done, and again, so relieved that is out of the way. Now phase 2 is on the cards, and obviously I've never had to deal with this before. So the only thing that I am changing for phase 2 is that I'm going to only be risking 750 or 0.75% per trade, just to give me that little bit more room. And where the profit target is obviously half of what it was in phase 1, it makes sense to definitely lessen the risk of going into deep drawdown. So when I actually passed my prop firm challenge, phase 1 was Monday the 26th of May. We're now Wednesday the 4th of June. Slightly delayed video, obviously, because I've been on holiday and stuff like that. But I'm just going to run you through now where I'm at on phase 2. So the next video that I put on will be a progress update on where I am at with that. So phase 2, as you can see, I am approximately 1.5% down as we speak. The account, so my first trade I took was a loss, second one was a winner. my third one was a loss, and annoyingly there was a trade on Euro US dollar last Friday that appeared, and again, this is just because it's new in phase 2. I decided not to take it because it was nearly the weekend. I didn't want to gap up or down, specifically down because I was going long, and that trade ran and hit take profit. So I missed out on $1,875 there, which would have put me to about just over 2% up. However, didn't take it, is what it is, we move on. Since then, I have had, so this week so far, since being away, three losses on a 3-loss streak. This was more than 750 loss because of spreads overnight. It's one of them things, just got to take it. So now what I'm going to do, because I've had 3 losses in a row, I'm actually going to size down and go for 0.5% risk until I get a winner. If I get a winner, I will then up my risk again to 0.75% and keep on going. So not the best start to phase 2, but you know, I'm just going to be patient. I've done the hard bit. Just going to keep sizing down again. If I go on another loss streak, if I take another 3-loss streak, I shall size down again. I've just got to keep being as safe as possible, because I know there will be a win streak that will come, and it will, you know, hopefully push my account back up, and I can make that 5% pretty easy. So that rounds up another video. Again, just want to say how relieved I am about passing that challenge, and if anyone here is watching it and is still yet to pass the challenge, just keep going. Go back, do some back testing, try changing a few things, because you know, over 2.5 years, you think 2 years and 2 months of me trading prop firm challenges, I didn't actually change anything. I was changing little things, but it wasn't backed with data. The first time when I've actually gone back, done some back testing, got some real results, some real data, gone in with confidence, I have finally passed my first phase 1. So it just really goes to show that if you do take it seriously, put in the effort, and you know, try something different, you can succeed. So thanks all for watching. I'll see you in the next video.